Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, AR the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about entitlement tipping that apparently now exists in this country. For those who don't know what this is, it's basically a term I came up with about 10 minutes ago, give or take, which is basically you have people expecting a tip for services before the services are even rendered or something like that is what it is, and expecting not only just like a small tip, but expecting like a very large tip for services that have yet to be rendered is what it is then. So basically this all starts, I was on Twitter a little bit ago here, and there was this almost 6-minute video here that we're gonna watch here, obviously, and I'm gonna discuss things throughout is what it is here, of this chick basically talking about how she went to a massage parlor of some kind and was going to get a massage, and obviously the massage in question there was like $80 for that massage entirely, and then they were expecting her to do basically like a 20-25% tip on top of everything else for that matter. So it was like 20, or actually I'm sorry, it was at least 20%, if not like more like 30 to 35% actually for that matter, for a service that had yet to be earned at that point. And really, she should have just said to the person right off the bat, been like, okay, you know what, here's the deal, like, I'm tipping you this much money right now, as like a standard thing right now, whatever it is. If the service is excellent, I may come back out and tip more. If it's not excellent, I might not tip anything else if that be the case then. And it might just be that standard. But the thing is, to even, like, here's the thing, right? My problem with this whole thing right now entirely. To even expect a tip at a place like that is your job, obviously, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, I understand, you know, if you're doing something where it's like, you know, a hairdresser or a barbershop, whatever the case be there, and you're cutting somebody's hair and stuff, like, you shouldn't expect a tip, but at the same time, like, I'm usually one of these guys, like, I'll go to, you know, because where I get my hair cut, actually, it's a Great Clips in town, here's what it is. And, you know, those chicks work pretty hard, honestly, for what they do. And it doesn't take them that long to cut my hair, honestly, dude, because it's literally taking up, like, I could literally take a pair of clippers out of their hand and cut it myself, really, is what it is. It would take me about 10 minutes to do it, honestly, with just, like, their tools would be then. But yeah, like, they usually do a pretty good job there. And the ones that have been doing it recently, they'll, you know, do it right. And they'll, like, buzz off and then buzz, like, down a little bit further and stuff like that, what it is there, to make sure it's all evened out and everything. And so I'll sit there and I'll throw them a buck or two when it's all said and done, even though the cut itself now costs like $6-7 more than it should, honestly. Because it used to be they would give half-price coupons all the time, and now they don't give jack shit is what it is anymore. So, you know, I'm going in there and paying, I think the last time I went in there was like $17 for fucking haircuts. And by the way, that's absolutely fucking retarded, dude. Like, for that kind of money, it should not only include a haircut, it should include like a beard trim and stuff like that too, for that matter, honestly. Or like an eyebrow trim or something like that, dude, including that shit for that kind of money. And if you're not going to include that, then, like, you know, it should be like $10 basically off the bat is what it is then, entirely. But yeah, the real issue though is, like, you know, and from my understanding, like having watched this video that I'm gonna talk about here in a minute already once, I would not be surprised in the least if the place that this girl went to was actually one of those happy ending massage parlors, and that's why people were tipping them like $20 to $40, honestly. Because it's like, yeah, if it's a bunch of dudes that are your clients and stuff like that, and you're jerking them off in the back and stuff like that, I'm sure giving you a decent hand job, whatever the case be, they probably did to be at $20 to $40 is what it is, man. So, because that's what it kind of sounds like from my understanding. What she was saying here, it sounds like it was either like Vietnamese or Cambodian or Malaysian or something like that's what it is. So it'd be like one of those languages that was being spoken then by these chicks in the whole situation there. And that's the thing too, right? Like, if you're going to speak a different language, in front of a client that would be like your native tongue or whatever it is, dude, and it's not English, like, you're obviously talking about that person behind their back is what it is, and thinking they don't understand what the fuck you're saying is what it is there, which is absolutely ridiculous to begin with in that whole thing, dude. And the funny thing would be, actually, if this chick actually had her phone like with one of those apps for like a language translator thing, and it was just like picking up everything, and it was like talking about like the shit that they were talking about or whatever the case be, and she's like, hey, motherfuckers, I have technology on my side, fuck you, I'm leaving. But anyway, let's get to the actual thing, and we'll discuss a little more. Here's what it is after we start watching here. I'm gonna go intermediately through this for probably like a minute or so at a time, give or take, depending on different points in the story that she's telling. Here's what it is, and then we'll discuss more if there's what it is there. So, anyway.
I really don't consider myself to be a cheap person. I'm more than happy to tip, but I feel like tipping nowadays is just getting out of control. So yesterday I wanted to get a massage because my back has been sore, but I'm a girl in her mid-20s. I didn't really want to pay too much, you know, because I'm living on my own and trying to pay bills, save up for things, and going through a bit of a career change right now. I ended up finding a place for $80 for the hour, which I thought was more than fair, so I called, booked an appointment.
So that right there, I think, is a little bit like, you know, itself is kind of like whatever, because it's like you're talking about an hour-long massage for $80. Like, that actually seems a little bit expensive to me, even, dude. At least that's my opinion on it anyway. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But yeah, I would say truthfully, it would be like maybe like 55, 60 at most. So, although I'm assuming she's in a major city is what it is. So there's like the extra, you know, $20 or whatever there for that whole thing, for the convenience of it just being right there, kind of thing is what it is there. I'm not sure how much the place that my sister-in-law used to work for charged, because she was working in a massage parlor once. Obviously, it was not one of the happy ending ones. It was just an actual regular massage parlor there. And that was actually the one that Vivek Ramaswamy, of all people, came into the night before one of the debates he had, before he dropped out of the race, obviously. And that was last year, obviously, that happened. So it was like, I think October of last year or something is when he came in there. And yeah, it was interesting because my sister-in-law was like, yeah, this like random guy comes in here and is like obviously like a bodyguard type or whatever the case be, and then all of a sudden you see him like say something about going and pulling around the vehicle or whatever, and then he pulls up this vehicle, jumps out of the one side, grabs a bag out of like the passenger seat or whatever it is, goes around to the other side, and then pulls up the door for the guy there is what it is, and then all of a sudden like a minute or two later Vivek shows up in the place with the book bag in his hand or something. So I don't know if that was like his personal documentation or maybe it was his own armed armaments or whatever you want to call it there. You know, like possible like something in the bag or something like that to be armed with or whatever. Or it even could have been just a book bag that had like one of those like shield things in it or something for all the fuck I know. That if somebody tried to like, you know, shoot at you or whatever the case be, it would be like an actual like plate carrier thing in the back of the backpack there. So it would like stop the bullet basically. So who knows? But I thought it was interesting that they were saying about him having a bag, though. But yeah, he came in there. He's like, "Hey, everybody, I'm here," and they're like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And then he had to explain to them who he actually was because they didn't know who he was. It's funny, but the thing is, though, it's like, yeah, it's just some Indian guy telling you, "Hey, everybody, I'm here." It's like, who the fuck are you, bro? Like seriously. But yeah, I just thought that was a funny story, though. My mom had a kick out of that one when she was still with us, but unfortunately, you know, she passed a few weeks ago now, and it's been bad since then, man. Apparently, later today, we're actually supposed to be breaking a record potentially for today for the weather, being the highest heat it can be. And then, of course, before we talk about other stuff here for a minute, I'm going to talk about something else for that matter, which is basically you got dickhead Biden basically demanding an apology for being called out for being a dimensional piece of shit now, and then you got assholes on Twitter fucking talking about Dementia Dawn, talking shit about Donald Trump is what it is, and sucking Obama's dick and stuff like that, and it's like, okay, cool, I'm going to call you on that one because you're literally fucking jerking off a dude in Obama who is a literal child molester who was outed by Chrissy Teigen, John Legend's wife, years ago on Twitter/X, when she had a bunch of tweets up there where she fucking admitted that herself, her husband John Legend, and Barack Obama were raping children at the fucking White House, people. And then she deleted a bunch of those tweets is what it was after the fact, like a couple years ago is what it was then. But of course, they were archived by people at the time because it was like, yeah, she's deleting a bunch of tweets and stuff like that to make it not look like she's a fucking criminal, what it is there, dude. But that's the thing with these people, dude. They will admit to your fucking face that they really are is what it is. They're a bunch of child rapists and stuff like that, dude. Then, of course, last year you had that fuckface John Legend come out here to Ohio is what it was. Try to claim he's an Ohio native when he hasn't lived here in over fucking 25 years of his life is what it is, dude. So he can go fuck himself is what it is. And then trying to push the abortion bullshit every fucking time. And it's like, get the fuck out of my state, you cocksucker. You fucking child molesting piece of shit. I fucking have with these goddamn people, man. I really fucking have. But anyway, back to the entitlement tipping thing. Here's what it is. So this chick was basically talking about paying $80 for the massage there.
going through a bit of a career change right now. I ended up finding a place for $80 for the hour, which I thought was more than fair. So I called, booked an appointment, all good. I go in last night to get the massage done. And it's funny, the lady actually forgot I even made an appointment. She was like, "Are you sure you booked an appointment?" I'm like, "Yeah, we talked on the phone last night." But we laughed. That was fine. It was all good. We laughed about it. So she wanted me to pay for the service ahead of time, which I thought was strange, but also I understood because I'm like, well, she probably just wants to make sure she gets paid, because it's a smaller building and that's all good. So I pay the $80 with my...
Well, actually, even on that one, where they're saying to pay up front is what it is, like that in of itself seems like it was kind of shady too, for that matter. And it's like, it kind of doesn't, like, the fact that she says it was a smaller building and stuff, that's kind of what it makes me think of, like, okay, are they forcing people to pay up front because it is a happy ending type massage parlor that's like probably an illegally run place that's actually doubles as a front for like actual prostitution then potentially? So yeah, there's like a lot of red flags there in like the first minute or so of this woman's content here that she's talking about there. And it does bring up like a lot of things there, dude, to think about. So anyway.
She passes me back a slip of paper to write my tip on it. Now I'm standing there kind of wondering, like what's like a fine, acceptable tip? Because obviously when I go out to eat, it's a $15 or $20 bill, so I have no problem tipping 20% because I'm already only paying like $20 for the bill. But here I'm paying $80 as it is for the service. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know, $5, $10. So I write down $5. I'm like, hopefully that's fine, Like, hey, if I was a multimillionaire, I'd be happy to tip $1,000. But it's like, I'm trying to kind of...
Well, okay, so here's my problem with even her saying that right now, because the thing is, they're asking you to pre-tip for a service you have right to receive. They're asking you to also prepay for a service you have right to receive. For all you fucking know, they're going to tell you to go fuck off after you're paying the fucking bill is what it is, dude. If anything, I would be like, I'm going to leave this zero for now, and I'll let you know after I have my services rendered what I want to pay in this tip is what it is then. My dad used to have a good rule of thumb, by the way, when he went out to go eat, actually, many, many years ago, back in the 60s and 70s, what it was there. And it was basically, he would go into a place, usually like a diner or something at the time, and the waitress would come up there, and, he was a big coffee drinker guy is what it was. And he would basically tell them straight up, like, as soon as they poured his first cup of coffee, he would lay money underneath the cup is what it was, or he would straight up tell them, be like, hey, you keep this cup filled up the entire time that I'm here, and you're going to get a good tip. And if you don't, it's going to be, a lesser tip kind of thing. And I forget exactly how he phrased it, but it was something like, yeah, you're going to get like the best tip possible from me if you keep my cup filled. If you don't, it's going to determine like how much a tip's going to be. That's what it is, or something like that. And that's what he would do, honestly. And there was a lot of times where you would have these waitresses come back like every 4 or 5 minutes or whatever so, and make sure to have his coffee like filled up every single time, dude. And when it was all said and done and it came time to tip waitress for the bill and stuff like that, dude, which was for him usually like a sandwich or like a burger and fries or something, that's what it was then. He would either tip almost the exact amount of the bill, or he'd tip them more than what the actual meal cost is what it was then. Now, granted, if they were like a shitty, server and stuff like that, and they weren't keeping his coffee cup filled, then he would only tip them like $1 or $2 is what it was at the time. But he would still tip them, obviously. And I feel like that's what it should be at this point, honestly, these people do. It's like, yeah, like how good you are at your job and the service you're providing me is going to depend if I tip you at all, for that matter, is what it is, dude. Actually, I saw a good one earlier today, too, for that matter. It was another one of these food delivery people who was bitching some woman out and was trying to steal her fucking groceries back and stuff like that because she wouldn't tip him. And it's like, okay, as someone who has actually used places like Instacart and stuff like that, dude, and like knows about the whole thing there, I know you have an option to tip, I believe is what it is on that. You don't have to, obviously, and you shouldn't have to because, again, you are a fucking person who is delivering food. That's not even, like, okay, that's different too, by the way. It would be one thing if you were like, I don't know, a Domino's pizza driver that's delivering me fucking a hot meal and stuff like that, dude. Yes, I'm going to tip you. If you're some random ass person that just happens to be delivering groceries for me, fuck no, I'm not tipping you a damn thing, dude. Like that should be the actual company that you work for that is giving you a tip or giving you enough payment to cover your gas and shit like that's what it is for that whole thing. Because for most people, those kind of jobs anyway are not their full-time job. It's a fucking side hustle for them in many cases, dude. It's a side implement. What do you call it? A side income for them is what it is there. You know, it's not like the full-time thing that they do. It's obviously not giving them benefits and shit like that's what it is. It's like the same thing with like Uber and Lyft and stuff like that, dude. Those are actually side gigs people do is what it is there. When they need like extra income is what it is there. Or it's like a second job or whatever the case before is what it is there. So, yeah, it's fucking ridiculous to sit there and expect like tips for fucking a job you're doing is what it is, dude. And getting paid to do is what it is. So, yeah, like it just, like this whole thing just seems like I said, it's like entitlement tipping at the end of the day. And it really makes me think, like, truthfully, we shouldn't have tipping at all in our fucking culture is what it is, dude. Because here's the thing, right? And even the people in the comment section of the video are saying it here. A couple people here were talking about different things. Here's what it is. Because I'm going to go down this for a minute. Here's what it is. You got this one guy saying, do they tip in Malaysia? And the answer to that is no, by the way. And then this Liz person said, what's weird is the expectation to be tipped before the service is even done. I tip based on how service was done. Exactly. And that's the whole point entirely. And that's what bothers me about this whole thing entirely, dude. Like, expecting to get pre-tipped for a service you're not even rendering yet. Like, what the hell kind of entitled shit is that, dude? It's fucking ridiculous what it is. So, anyway. But continuing on with this whole thing, though.
The budget, you know, and to tip $1,000, but it's like, I'm trying to kind of budget, you know, and I'm already paying for the service. So I write down $5. I pass back the slip, and she goes, that's it? And I said, what do you mean? And she goes, that's all you're tipping? So I was like, how much do you think I should be tipping? Because I thought maybe she'll say $10, and I have no problem doing that. She goes, oh, definitely $20 to $30. I'm already paying $80. Old me?
So, okay. So when she says 20 to 30 on that one, so you're talking about 20 would be 25%, by the way. 30 is even more than that. Like 40 would be 50%, so it'd be like 35% would be $30 or something like that, or 37.5%, I think is what it actually would be, something like that. Like, you're fucking nuts, dude. You're talking about people giving a third of the fucking price of the massage for a tip? Are you fucking high? Are you fucking retarded? Like, seriously, that's fucking ridiculous, dude, entirely.
Would have just given the $20 and not wanted to cause problems. Even new me doesn't want to cause problems. I just wanted to go in there, get my massage, and be happy and pay the price and give a little tip, you know, like that's fine. But
just the tip.
I was like, no, I feel like I need to stick up for myself in this situation because this is kind of rude, you know?
Super fucking rude.
So I was like, well, I'm not tipping $20. Like, that's a little much. She goes, well, the girls here work really hard. And I said, oh, I'm not questioning that at all. I'm sure they do, but that's what.
Yeah, I'm sure that they do work really hard, giving those happy endings all fucking day is what it is. And that Vietnamese, Cambodian, Malaysian fucking massage parlor is what it is, man. So, you know, seriously, man. That's what those places are. They're fucking jerk-off booths, basically, with a hand. But anyway, that's also why they always get raided by the cops all the time is what it is. Or if they don't get raided by the cops, it's because they're paying off fucking corrupt-ass cops is what it is there to not get raided. So...
I am already paying $80. Like, I'm paying $80 and then adding this little tip on. She goes, well, that just covers our rent.
It's not my fucking problem.
I'm like, well, respectfully, that's not my problem.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know, I'm sorry if maybe your boss doesn't pay you guys enough. That's really unfortunate, but it shouldn't be up to me to make up for that. You know, I'm already paying $80 for the service, added a little tip, like, whatever. Anyway, she kind of keeps, like, going on looking at, like, staring at me, just making me feel bad. So now I'm like, okay, I don't even want to, you know, I don't even know if I want to do this. So I say to her, I'd be happy to take my business elsewhere because, you know,
she should have at that point,
I can get a refund with my credit card company. I'd be happy to go elsewhere if my tip's not good enough for you and whatever. And she goes, no, get the massage and then you can tip more after. So anyway, I'm in the room getting ready to get this massage done, and I can hear her and the girl who's going to be doing my massage outside of, like, out by the front desk. And they're speaking in their own language, which I don't speak, so I can't say for certain what they were saying. But, you know when you just feel like someone's talking about you? That's what it felt like, because I was the only client there in the building, and this had all just happened. It didn't sound like whatever they were saying, didn't sound like they were saying it in a nice way. So I was like, I feel like they're talking about me now.
Well, here's the thing, and like I said at the beginning of this episode here, if someone starts speaking a foreign language in front of you, it's so that you don't understand what the fuck they're saying, and obviously they're talking about you is what it is, dude. They're talking shit about you is what it is at that point. to be like, oh, they're probably fucking insulting you racially. Is my guess. Honestly, it's like, oh, this fucking entitled white bitch. She don't want to tip nothing but like $5 for you or something like that. And it's like, first of all, she shouldn't have to tip anything at all for that matter. She shouldn't even have to prepay for that matter. It should have been paying after the fucking services were rendered to begin with. So again, it's like, what the hell kind of backdoor fucking, hand job fucking happy ending tip massage parlor is this place, dude? Seriously, I want to know where the hell this place is at, even for that matter. So I can give them a 1-star Yelp review is what it is. I kid, obviously, on that one, but no, seriously though, it's fucking ridiculous. Is what it is. So anyway, continuing back on though.
So anyway, just a bad vibe, bad feelings. So I'm like, I'm going to leave. So I get my stuff. I'm walking out the door and I'm like, you know what? I just feel uncomfortable. I don't feel good about this. I'm just going to get a refund through my credit card company and have a good night. I'm walking to my car. The front desk lady's like chasing me out the door and she's like, no, come back. It's okay. Like, I'll give you a discount and I'll take
give you a discount.
And I'm like, well, no, that's fine. Like, I'm fine with paying full price. I'm fine with leaving the tip. I'm not trying to pay less or anything. I'm happy with paying the full price on the tip, but I just don't appreciate being made to feel bad for what I'm able to tip right now. Mm-hmm. And mind you, it's not that I'm not able to tip $20, but it's like, I don't really want to right now at this stage in my life. I'm already paying $80,
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so she goes, well, I promise, like, we weren't talking about you, which I found funny because I never even mentioned the whole, like, talking thing. So I was like,
Yeah. Anyway,
she goes, I promise talking about you. I was just telling her, like, that you know, what you want done and blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh.
Like, okay, well, I'm fine to come back in and pay the full price and leave my tip, but I don't want to get a bad service now because, you guys are mad at me or something. Like, I don't want somebody, like, pounding on my back, because they're, like, mad at me. She goes, no, I promise, like, it'll be fine. Just come back in, get the massage, like.
Oh, she wants somebody to pound on her someplace. Just not on her back is what it is. So, just saying, man. That girl's definitely taken to Pound Town a couple times is what it is. I wouldn't mind taking her there myself, honestly. But,
it's all good. So I'm like, okay. So I go back in, and the girl who did my massage, she was really great, really nice, and everything was really good. But the whole time I'm laying on the bed, like, overthinking now. Like, I wasn't even thinking about the massage because I just was overthinking about the whole situation, thinking, like, am I a bad person? Like, I'm not trying to be. Like, anyway, the massage is done, and I'm like, okay, I will add $5 on because she did do a really great job, and $10 is fine. I'm still not going to do 20 to 30, but I'm like, I'll do 10. So I go out, and
well, that's actually technically 1/8 of what the massage would cost, so it's over 10% at that point, if I'm not mistaken, because it would be, I think $8 would be 10%, so it'd be more like 12-ish or so, give or take.
And now they're being really nice to me, right? Because sometimes when you put people in their place a little bit, like, not being mean, but just like you just put people in their place a little
Humble
bit,
them.
They kind of like respect you more. You know what I mean? You're kind of like top dog like vibes. That's kind of what it was like. So they're like, how?
I would say, honestly, it's more like showing your alphaness to them at that point, being like, yeah, I'm not going to be made a fucking, made a victim out of, or whatever you call it there. So, it's like, yeah, bitch, like, back the fuck off kind of shit is what it is there. And yeah, they'll make sure that they'll be like kowtowing at that point and be like, oh, they ain't fucking around kind of thing is what it is then. So.
Was it? And they were super friendly. And I was like, it was great. I'd be happy to add on another $5. And she's like, no, it's okay. You can just go. It's okay. And I said, no, I actually want to because she did a great job. I'm not going to do 20 to 30, but I'll do 10. So I changed the tip to 10. Everything was good. Told them to have a good night. Everything was fine. But I left still just thinking to myself, like, was that kind of rude, or am I a cheap person? I don't know. Like, is that kind of, I don't know.
So, to answer her questions at the end there, like, no, she's not a cheap person. They were fucking entitlement rudeness is what it was there, 100%, dude. And that's the entire problem right there. And again, it goes back to why I call this what I called it with entitlement tipping is what it is. Because truthfully, you shouldn't have to tip anything at all, dude. Seriously, if I went overseas right now to a place like Malaysia or Cambodia or Vietnam or really any other Asian country overseas, I think they have massage parlors in South Korea too, if I'm not mistaken, and places like that as well, or the Philippines for that matter, even. And went over there and was like, oh yeah, I want to go get a massage or whatever the case be, and I go into the place, it's like, no, they'll be like, it's this much money and the fucking story, nothing else for that, no tip, nothing else like that. It'd be just straight whatever the cost would be for the massage would be then. and, you know, pay them the money, go get the massage, be done with it or whatever the case be. And yeah, just have them work my ass out is what it is then, man. You know, figuratively speaking, obviously. It'd be working on my back, obviously, and stuff like that is what would be there. You know, just doing like a deep tissue on my back or whatever the case be. So now, granted, I think those countries, honestly, a lot of those places in those countries would be more inclined to be the happy ending type places as well, too, for that matter. But like I was saying, like this whole just hearing this chick's story, honestly, about the whole like prepaying and like the amount of tip that quote unquote most clients pay, it does really make me think like this is a happy ending type of fucking massage parlor, dude. At that point, and it's like a bunch of dudes basically over tipping because they're getting jerked off at the end of their fucking massages. What it is after the first like, you know, half hour, 40 minutes, whatever it is in, like the last 20 minutes of the fucking massage is just them getting their dick beat off is what it is then. So it makes sense why they would want to pay, you know, 20, 30, 40 bucks, whatever it is then. Cause it's like, yeah, you know, you got, you know, your special fucking chick for the night or whatever the case be there. And it's, you know, some hot Asian girl just jerking your dick off is what it is there. So, but anyway, let's go check out the comment section again, see if there's anything else in here that we want to talk about right now. Let's see, this Nubis Colony said, I no longer enjoy tipping, which is having the effect of me no longer wanting to tip at all. I'm already feeling annoyed about being asked to tip for a freaking deli sandwich. So I'm just at the point where I'm going to feel annoyed. I'm going to now be annoyed and tipless. Yeah, and that's the way I feel about it too, right? Like, because even like, you know, when I've said before about going, you know, like I've ordered Domino's a bunch of times, obviously, like Mom and I did when she was still alive and stuff too, for that matter, and like the last few months of her life and stuff like that. She obviously didn't want to go out and get it, so we would just have them deliver here is what it is. And, you know, it should have roughly been about $15, give or take, for them to bring the pizza to us is what it is there. It wasn't. And mind you, this pizza place is like maybe 2 miles from my house or something like that, dude. But yet it was like $4.50 or $5 for a fucking delivery charge for us. And then on top of that, they expected a tip. And we usually give them a 20 is what it was. So we're sitting there paying like 13, 14 bucks for the pizzas. And then giving them essentially like a $7 fucking tip almost for the mix between the actual delivery charge and the tip for the driver is what it is there. So yeah, it is fucking ridiculous entirely, dude, and it's way too much is what it is. That being said, I think actually even the place that's the mom and pop shop back this way is what it is in the other town, because obviously that town over there is the one that would be the opposite town from me. This is my actual hometown behind me is what it is here. Where I'm not sure if when I have to move here is what it is, because I'm assuming I have to move right now is what it is then. Because obviously the main guy that wants to buy the place right now, I talked to him the other day about, you know, me possibly being a renter, and now it turns out that he's obviously willing to buy and then move his family in here is what it is now. So it is what it is, man. So I had to go find some place to like rent out or buy out or whatever the case be then or something. And I'm gonna really what I'm trying to look for right now is like a small house like a rent out is what it would be then, where it'd be like maybe like a 2-bedroom house or something like that, if that'd be the case around here, like as cheap as possible, which it might be around this area, like where I'm at right now, but like in the town, like closer into the town is what it'd be there. Or it could be even like the town over from me is what it'd be then. So, and either one, it would be fine, I think, honestly. But the whole point is, it's like, you know, I'm pretty, like I was saying that I think even the pizza place back here in the other towns one of the days behind me that I went to high school at, that place I think charges like $6-7 just to fucking come out here is what it is. And they're like, I think they're even like half a mile closer to us is what it is there or something, dude. So it's like a mile and a half fucking drive for their drivers to come out to us then. Yeah, it's like several dollars more because it's like a mom and pop shop instead of being like a chain place or whatever then. So yeah, it's just ridiculous either way. And it's, again, it goes back to the whole like, you know, tipping culture and like forced fees and stuff like that is what it is on people. And it's just bullshit entirely, dude. So yeah, I'm just fucking over all of it, I think, man. And I do agree with that guy about just not tipping at all is what it is then. So, and that's my thing, right? Like, I have no problem tipping somebody if they do like a really good job at whatever it is they're doing, you know? Like, whether it be if you're a waiter and you're, you know, doing a good job on my glass and, you know, doing things like that. Like, I'll tip you a decent price or whatever the case be. because I know you're struggling and you're basically working for tips at that point. But at the same time, if you're going to sit there and like, because there was one time I remember I was with my family actually, and this was some years back now. I forget exactly where we were at the time, but it was, I forget if it was, because there's a place between Ohio and Pennsylvania that is like an outlet mall area or whatever there that we've gone to in the past few times there. And I think it's Grove City is where it would be at, maybe. That's what I'm thinking of. But anyway, we went there a few times, is what it was, to get like stuff. And there's like some eateries around there. And I think we tried one of them, is what it was the one time. And it wasn't super busy for that matter, but it was like sort of heavier traffic than usual, I guess, in that place at the time of day that it was. Which they had enough staff on there that they should have been able to come back and do stuff the correct way is what it was, and check your table every so often for like, everybody, cool, you need some more something to other drink is what it is there. But no, dude, like I was sitting there during that entire thing. She ended up getting our drinks for us. I actually finished mine before the meal even came. She had not bothered to go and get another drink for me at all at that point. Because I think what she told me was, oh yeah, I'll go and get, refills for everybody that needs whatever the case be in a minute here. Meanwhile, like fucking 15 minutes later, I'm sitting there like trying to like legitimately eat without having like something to wash it down with. And I'm looking around, I'm like, where the fuck is this bitch, dude? Is she fucking some dude in the bathroom or something? Goddamn. Because she's nowhere to be fucking found. And then like when it came to the time that we were about to like leave and finish up or whatever the case be, I'm still thirsty as fuck, by the way, obviously. And my aunt still gave her a decent tip, though. And I'm just like, why the fuck would you tip her at all for that matter? Because she was a fucking shit-ass waitress, dude. She didn't give us nothing. Like, she gave us our fucking food barely. And she didn't give us one damn refill at all. So it's like, why the fuck are you tipping her a damn dime at that point? And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the kind of shit where I would have stiffed their ass a fucking tip entirely, dude. Been like, fuck you. You didn't refill my drink once this time, this stupid bitch. Like, we sat there for a fucking half hour or more eating food when you should have been refilling me at least 2 times for that matter during that meal. And it's like, yeah, it fucking pissed me off, dude, for real. So, anyway. But that being said, going back to the rest of this thing here, we got this next person saying, gosh, it was beforehand, too. Who the heck asked for a tip beforehand? This is out of hand. Let's see, this person said, you get it shoved in your face at every transaction in the U.S. now. It's ridiculous, meaning tipping, obviously. As Tracy Girl said, how do you tip for something you haven't even gotten yet? You tip after. The girl never even mentioned that. The tip isn't mandatory. It's extra niceties. Like in this case, because she felt the girl did a good job. Completely insane. Yeah, exactly. And then this MLH guy said, a tip is based on services rendered. Tipping happens after the massage, not before. And 20% on an $80 tip is $9.40 according to an Apple Watch. So, yeah, there you go, dude. Yeah, so actually she gave him 20% of what it was then, dude. Actually more than 20% at that point with the $10. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like I said, they were talking about 25 to like 37.5% or something like that, dude. And it's like, the fuck do you want? Like 50% tips at this point? Damn, people. Are you selling drugs on the side too? Can I buy some fucking smack, please? Like seriously, man. Obviously, that's sarcasm. YouTube's vocal algorithms out there. Don't be trying to channel strike me for that shit, dude. So, because I know you fuckers do like a whole transcript now is what it is here on these videos. But anyway, let's see here now. Alpha Bravo said, judging by the vehicle wrapped in leather with the dual moon roof, she's doing just fine, meaning the chick that was tipping 20% or whatever there. Let's see, this person here said $5 for an hour massage has never been enough. 15. I hate to say it, but this is standard. If you're in Southeast Asia, $5 tip is fine, but also not expected or required. Well, that's the thing too, right? Because in those kind of countries, whether it be Southeast Asian nations or whether, like I said, whether it be like Philippines or Cambodia or whatever it is there, they are paid enough by the place, by the actual owner of the massage parlors, that you're not required to tip them is what it is, dude. And in fact, most of those countries, they actually look down upon you if you're trying to tip them because it's considered an insult to them because you think they're not getting paid enough is what it is there. So they'll be like, no, like take that away, put it back in your pocket, sir, kind of thing. So anyway, Or in that case, they actually think you're tipping them to, like, you know, suck them off or something, probably, is my guess. Or for them to suck you off of me is what I'm trying to say. Is what it is there. Sorry. Brain's a little bit tired right now. Just realized it's after 11 too. Need to get some stuff done here in a minute here. So anyway, but yeah, the whole point of the matter is, like I said before, it's this entitlement tipping culture that we've created somehow in this country in the last 4 to 5 years. What it is, it's just insane, dude. It really is. Honestly, it's just completely psychotic. And for these people to sit there and expect, you know, 25, 35, 50% tips is what it is. It's fucking ridiculous entirely, dude. Anyways, this guy said it here. So we have a tipping problem in this country. Charge the right price up front so people don't know what you're getting. I constantly have to tip 10 to 15 bucks for my haircut. Just charge me up front a fixed price. Exactly, dude. Well, in the first place, like what the fuck, dude? 10 to 15 bucks on a fucking haircut? Are you retarded? Again, a couple dollars, bro. If you're paying more than that, you're a fucking retard entirely, dude. And I'll say it like it is. So, anyway. Let's see. This person said, if you have problems saying no, there is an alternative, and it is testosterone supplements. If you don't want more... What the fuck? Yeah, that's weird. Okay. Yeah, here you go. If you pay cash, you don't see this. That's your tip for helping to prevent the capsule society. Which is, let's see here now. Yeah, acceptable, good, great, excellent, no tip, custom. Your bill was 10 bucks. So, yeah, and that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, again, it's a situation there of, like, really, it's like, no, I'm going to give you, like, you know, a couple dollars on my pocket, it'll be then after the fucking massage is done, kind of thing there. Like, if you're using a card to pay for the actual massage, I can understand, you know, because you're not going to have, like, 80 bucks cash in you or whatever the case may be, but, like, yeah, it doesn't mean you're not going to have, like, 5 or 10 in your pocket. You can just hand them to them after the job is done or whatever the case be then. So, anyway. But, yeah, going back to the rest of this, though, this person here said, I don't tip people for doing their job. I don't tip delivery drivers. Don't tip at restaurants. Don't tip Uber/Lyft drivers. Don't tip the pilots flying the plane. Okay, so here's the thing right there. I get the Uber driver, Lyft driver. I get the plane pilot and stuff like that. But seriously, dude, not tipping a waitress, not tipping a delivery driver, you're kind of a dickhead is what it is. So, anyway. They continue on here, though. It said, don't tip cashier at some random place. Don't tip the doctor at the end of the visit. Don't tip the phone carrier for the phone service that I receive. Don't tip utility company for the electricity I receive. Don't tip the people cleaning my car at the car wash because they know what they do is a good job, does a decent job, then I'll return to get another wash. And then if they do a crap job, I won't. I only ever tip someone for going above and beyond from what they required, requested, and paid for. Generally, people tend not to go above and beyond because we live in a ungrateful, lazy society where people think they're owed tips just for doing their jobs. And that is kind of true, unfortunately. And but the same vein of things, dude, it's like, yes, there are places that are technically you should tip, and it's like paid. Okay, so we're talking about restaurants. I assume he's talking about a sit-down restaurant, like, you know, whether it be, you know, chain places like a Hooters or a Dave and Buster's, or whatever the case be there, or whether it be a fucking, you know, like, again, like there's other ones here in Ohio that exist only in Ohio, like, there's one called Roosters. Here's what it is. My niece loves to go to, by the way. And I remember years ago, they were telling a story because they were on a road trip to another state is what it was at the time. And they were asking her, they were like, oh, what do you want to go eat at? And she's like, let's go to Roosters. And they're like, honey, I don't think there is one of those in this state. And she's like, what? But this is America. It's just funny. Because at the time she was only like 5 or 6 years old or something. So, but yeah. She's a great kid, though. She just turned 10 yesterday, actually. So, and unfortunately, mom was not here to see her get double digits. This is what it is, man. So, yeah, fucking sucks, man. It really does. Depresses me quite a bit, actually, because I would have loved to see mom be with us and all of us be together for my niece's birthday, but unfortunately, that was not the case. So, it is what it is. But I got some stuff for her in the bedroom that mom left behind that I'm going to give to her for future presents here whenever we see her next time then. So, Anyway, but yeah, that being said, like I said, there are certain places where it should be, like a basically requirement of tipping culture, basically is what it is, which is like I said, it's a sit down restaurant, or it's like, hey, you're delivering me like a hot food meal or whatever the case be from like a place, like a delivery driver or whatever the case be. Like at that point, like yes, I would consider that to be like a couple dollars or something at most, what it is usually. But yeah, if we're talking about like a haircut or something like that, like again, I might give you like $1 or $2 is what it is then if you're a decent job on the haircut is what it was. Unless the shit's already like, let's see what price is what it is. And again, to me at that point, if you have, $15, $17, $18, $20 haircut is what it is to begin with, dude, like your tip is included in that fucking price then, bitch. That's the way I feel about it then. But even still, like I did the thing this last time around because it was, the first time his mom had passed and stuff like that, and I was getting a haircut for her funeral as it was there, so which it came out looking pretty good, still pretty decent right now. I'm gonna have to get another one in probably another 4 or 5 months from now is what it'll be. So, but anyway, actually, yeah, probably about April, May, maybe probably would be another haircut then, because usually every 3 to 4 months I usually get a haircut. That's what it is. So it's like 3 to 4 times a year I'll get my haircut then, and then other than that, it stays pretty short for quite a while, and then it starts to grow out like incrementally over like the next couple months. It'll be then it'll be enough to the point where I'm just like, this shit's getting too shaggy and it's getting hot now, whatever the case be. Let's buzz it the fuck off, whatever the case be. And it's not like I can't do it myself, but the problem is right now it's like so many things around the house I don't know where they're at right now because they seem to either come up missing or they're just like been misplaced or whatever the case be. Then around the house somewhere. That yeah, I physically can't find the fucking clippers we have at the house right now is what it is, because otherwise I would just buzz my own head the other day. But thing is too, getting it done at a professional place, whether it be a salon or a barbershop, whatever the case be, is those people know what they're doing better than you do. And the fact that, there are times where I'll cut my hair up to a certain point or whatever, and I can't get like the back part the right way or whatever the case be then. Whereas if you're sitting in a chair having somebody else cut it for you, it's just like bending your head down a little bit and them doing like the back of your head and like the back of your neck and stuff like that's what it is there. Whereas you maybe can't get that yourself, so it is then. So, and plus I've noticed too, when it comes to places like that, specifically like Great Clips and stuff where they have the, like your numberation stuff and stuff like that's what it is there for dudes haircuts. They tend to do a very good job with it most of the time is what it is there. And it's not like it comes out like all shitty, whereas where I've done my own before and stuff like that, I've either cut it like way too short or it's either like just a little bit longer than it needs to be. And then I can't go back and like do it again to make it a little bit shorter without like fucking it up and making it like way, way too short. That's what it is. So, whereas over there, it's like, yeah, they just buzz it around then a little bit and it's good to go. Usually is what it is there. So, and like I said, it's about 10, 15 minutes, give or take, in and out. So it's not too long. And, for the price they're charging for it is not, too bad. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, they really shouldn't get a tip after that. Then if they're charging that much for it at this point anyway. So, yeah, this one chick was asking that dude about the no tipping thing that he had. Said, how's it saying here? She said, how do you sort through feeling guilty for not tipping? Obviously you don't. But if there was a time that you did, how did you deal with these feelings? So, and again, I'm assuming it's like, well, as this person specifically stated, it wasn't they don't tip. It's that they only tip if someone goes above and beyond what their required duties are. Is what it is there for the job at hand. Is what it is. So yeah, if it's like, let's go ahead and say they give you like that extra, shine or extra clean or whatever the case be. Like maybe they will tip the guy that's washing and waxing the car, whatever the case be, or they're buffing it out real nice and shit like that, make it look real shiny and whatnot. Like maybe you'll throw them like $1 or $2 if that be the case, then maybe or something. But yeah, who knows, man. So anyway, let's see, where was I at now here? Yeah, I kind of agree with what that other person here was saying as well, because this guy was saying another thing before this, honestly. He said the massage parlor to just charge $95 up front and say no tipping is required. That's how hard is that to do is what it is exactly, dude. And this chick said They shouldn't be asking for a tip before any service is provided either. It's just crazy. This guy said, quote, I'll tip you after service is over. If they don't like that, then too bad. The girl is very likable and in her mind is in the right place, but you could have told the story like 1/3 of the time, meaning like 2 minutes to 5 minutes, what it is there. I don't know, man. I mean, it was like a 6-minute video almost there, but no, I think it was fine. It was paced pretty decently, is what it is. So, yeah. And then as this person said, it's no longer a courtesy or incentive. It's now a tax. Like tipping is a tax or whatever. Yeah, I could agree with that, honestly, in some cases. As we all know, taxation is theft, dude, in many cases. So, yeah, fuck them, you know. But I'll tell you the one that always got me was property tax, where it's like my elderly mother having to pay property taxes her entire life. It's just bullshit, dude. Or it's even the income tax stuff, because it's like, you know, a tax that was supposed to be temporary, that was created, I believe it was after World War II, if I'm not mistaken, to pay for that war is what it was or whatever. And then just never, or actually maybe it was World War I even for that matter. But yeah, it just never went away is what it was then. So, and that's the thing. Like, that's the problem with anything in our country, dude. Like, any politician ever tells you, like, oh, it's just a temporary thing. Bull fucking shit, motherfucker. We all know it's going to be a permanent goddamn bunch of bullshit. Fuck you. Fuck your fucking goddamn lies. Get the fuck out of office, you scumbag fucking cheater fucks. And go to prison where your asses belong, bitch. Just like Biden's whole fucking what was it, transitory inflation BS that we're still experiencing now, fucking 3-4 years later is what it is now, dude. With the so-called Inflation Reduction Act. Fuck you and your fucking fake ass names for shit, dude. There's nothing fucking reducing anything, asshole. It was fucking Inflation Increasing Act, you fucking douchebags. So, anyway. But yeah, I'm pretty fucking over it, dude, is what it is right now, with all these fucking people is what it is. I actually do agree with what this guy was saying, though, in this. I think we're going to leave it off with this one, actually. Which is, this dude right here said, I would and never will tip before whatever it is I am purchasing is performed. This in actuality is a form of fraud / extortion. The implication is the quality of service is based on your tip, which is exactly opposite of what the purpose of the tip actually is. I've been in restaurants that have you prepay for your meal when the tip request is presented. I tell them it will be on the table when I leave. I am old and wise enough not to play this game. Exactly, dude. Well, first of all, I'm sorry, but if I go to a place that's telling me to prepay for a fucking meal, dude, fuck you. I'm not paying shit for that fucking meal, and I'll get up and take my stuff with me and get the fuck out of there, dude, and go someplace else, assholes. That's a bunch of shit right there is what it is, dude. Yeah, this guy said exactly. I tip it in cash after service is done. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, too, because for that matter as well, it goes back to the whole, like, CBDC bullshit. You know, this digital currency stuff they keep trying to bring, the cash society stuff they keep trying to bring. Here's what it is. Like, nah, bro. Like, I should be able to tip a person whatever the fuck I want in cash after a service is done, whether it be at a restaurant, sit down restaurant, whatever the case be there, or anything else for that matter. You know, like I said, if I'm going to tip a, you know, hairstylist / barber, whatever it is there, a couple dollars or whatever there, dude. Again, that's my business when I'm actually tipping them, for tipping them at all for that matter. And, you know, to me, that's money that they could easily, you know, take and put in their fucking pocket and not have to tell the fucking IRS what they're getting tipped in, if that be the case, dude. And again, it's a way for them to basically say, fuck you, government. So that's the entire point, though, is, you know, if you're doing a tip based on a credit card that you're paying out with, dude, it's kind of stupid, because then you're, you know, forcing that person to then obviously put that whole entire thing on their check is what it is then, to the fucking government, then is what it is. So, yeah. And I think honestly a lot of tipping culture in our country, that's what it actually came out of, was because of people getting fucked in the ass from taxation is what it was. So it was kind of a way around that kind of thing, where it's like, no, dude, I'm going to tip you in cash. Like, here's some money. Like, put it in your fucking pocket and don't say anything, kind of thing. And yeah, like, that's how it should be, honestly. But anyway, that's pretty much for the day, though. Trying to even think what day it is now. Saturday, okay. I will not be back tonight. NEA will, though, as far as I'm aware. He'll be back with his little nerd chat, or what the fuck it is, on his second channel there, which I may watch. I may fall asleep by then, is what it is. But anyway, we will be back tomorrow, though, for Honda's gay frog chat, as far as I'm aware, that being a thing then. And then we'll just bullshit on that one for a while, is what it is. We'll probably bring up this whole thing, actually, for that matter, too, as well, with that girl and stuff, since I put on what their Discord is, what it is there. Been talking about how it's out of control stuff, or whatever the case be, so, which I think even Honda, who works in the food industry, can tell you that, dude, like, when you have it going to other places like that, like whether you massage places or, any place else for that matter, and it's just like, yeah, like, prepaying for a fucking service not rendered yet is what it is. And that guy's right about it being a possibility of extortion, if that be the case too. Because again, it's like, yeah, they're extorting you for a better tip to be like, oh, you want a better service on top of the fucking like almost $100 you're already paying for the fucking service initially is what it is. Like you better tip up to at least $100 then, bro, all the way around, or I'm not going to give you a best massage you can get, brother. So, and like I said, in that case, I believe truthfully that one with them prepaying stuff is what it is, dude. I would not be the least bit surprised if that place was a fucking happy ending kind of massage parlor. Really seedy ass place is what it is there. And the reason they have people prepay there is what it is because there's been a bunch of dudes that went in there, asked for, the happy ending or whatever it is there, got fucking jerked off and stuff like that. And then when the chick was like turned her back to go do whatever, then, clean up or whatever that was there, the dude just like grabbed his fucking pants and ran out the door or something like that. That's what it was. And didn't bother paying for anything is what it'll be then. So I could easily see that being the case, honestly, dude. But anyway. Either way, yeah, it's just scumbag entitlement is what it is, dude. And I'm fucking sick and tired of the entitlement in this country is what it is, man. So I would never fucking tip anybody before a thing is done. And I wouldn't even prepay for the shit is what it is there, dude. I'd be like, nah, bitch, like I will pay you everything after I am finished and my service has been rendered. It's just like that one guy mentioned about prepaying for meals and stuff like that. Dude. It's like, no, dude, I'm not gonna pay you for a steak I haven't eaten yet, bitch. Like, give me the fucking shit. And yeah, I can understand a place like doing that obviously now because of so many fucking, and I'm gonna say it like it is, dude. So many fucking groups of black people going into fucking restaurants and dining and dashing is what it is there, dude. Well, they'll go in, they'll order a bunch of shit, $100 worth of stuff, and then steal it all is what it is at the end of the day. Walk out without paying a dime is what it is there. And it seems like that happens time anymore. And it's not just them either. It's also Latinos and other non-white races in this country, honestly, dude. They're doing that shit. Mostly with the Latinos, it's fucking illegal. So it is there that don't have a dime to their name or whatever the case be, or think it's fucking, they can come and break our laws by breaking into our nation, and then basically everything is handed out for them as well, too, for that matter. So they don't have to pay for jack shit anyway. So it's like, it's the whole thing there is what it is, though. But yeah, it seems like it's more in the black culture, though, where they will, stiff the waitress and, walk out not paying bills and stuff like that. Or if they do pay the bill, they won't have a damn dime for tipping is what it is then. And even there's a lot of black waitresses that come out now about that of like, dude, I hate, serving, these groups is what it is there because I'm not getting jack shit and tips is what it is there. So, because they'll be like scripting together fucking change for like the last $5 or whatever it is, then the actual meal cost is what it'd be then. So, which that's my biggest problem with people entirely, dude. It's like, hey, if you don't have money for a tip in a sit down restaurant, dude, maybe don't go out to fucking eat. Then is what it is. Seriously. If you're like barely being able to script together the cost of the meal for like you and a bunch of people, then like maybe don't go out and eat in the first place, bro. Like maybe go to a fucking store of some kind, pick up something for you and the family, and cook it at home. Then, if that be the case, And usually, what it is that they're just lazy. Is what it is. They don't actually want to cook a meal themselves. Is what it is. There, take the time to prep a meal, whatever the case be, and just want to go get something to eat. Is what it is then. So. But again, and these are also the same people, by the way, that will literally take their kids into a fucking Walmart and stuff like that and start eating fucking chips off the floor and stuff like that, dude. So I mentioned that one specifically because there's that video out there now of that fucking father where he's got the kids all eating ice cream cones that they didn't pay for in the store, by the way. And he opens up a fucking bag of Ripple chips, tosses like half of them on the floor, and then starts picking them up off the floor and fucking dipping them and eating them off the floor, basically, is what it is there, dude, without paying for them either, for that matter. And these same pieces of shit wonder why the fucking communities they're in have food deserts in them, dude, and what it is. I was talking to my uncle about that actually recently because there was we were going through downtown Canton the other day for my doctor's appointment there. And I was mentioning about all the places that closed up there. And we were talking about the one place that was at the corner there which initially was a Save-A-Lot, that then became a Family Dollar, and both the places went out of business there is what it was, and we were wondering why, and I'm thinking about it more myself, and I'm just like, and I mentioned it to him out loud, and I was like, yeah, it could be that they were just stealing shit from the place, and it cost them to go out of business what it is there, dude. And they were robbing the place so much is what it was, 5-figure discount in the place is what it is there, that they just couldn't afford to stay in business because they had so much theft happening there. And I noticed there was a couple other places around there too that were it was like a smaller building that was it was either a chicken joint or it was like an ice cream parlor at one point, because there was like two different ones is what it was. One of them was one thing, one was the other thing is what it was there. And both of them are closed down now is what it is. And now, granted, I know a lot of startups like that closed in the first year or so is what it is there, so it might have been something like that. But then the same many things could have been something where, again, given where it was at in the ghetto ass area of Canton, it could have just been people trying to fucking rob them at night or stealing or trying to break in the business and steal their shoes. What it was then, dude. So, yeah, it's just pathetic and disgusting, is what it is, dude. And again, it's things that could easily be dealt with if the fucking community itself would actually call the shit out themselves right now, instead of basically blaming everybody else but them fucking selves at that point, dude. It's not even them that. It's not even the people that are going on camera in these random newscasts that are saying this shit, dude. It's the ones that will cover for other people that are doing the fucking crimes. Is what it is, dude. It's like, no, just call. If you're gonna go on a fucking newscast like that, dude, and be like, I don't understand why they're creating quote unquote food deserts here. Like, how about call out the motherfuckers stealing from the goddamn place that are in your fucking meat, look just like your ass is what it is there, coloration wise, and fix the fucking problem once and for all, people. Because I guarantee if you shame these fuckers enough, it's gonna cause some kind of ripple effect to where maybe they won't keep stealing shit is what it is, dude. Or if enough people actually call their bitch asses out, maybe you'll come together as an active community then and beat the fuck out of them is what it is then, dude. For stealing shit and be like, ostracize their asses out of the fucking community entirely is what it is then. And the rest of us will do the same for that matter, and they'll just be fucking drogues living in the sewers and shit like that if that'd be the case then, dude. So, or they might just leave the country entirely for that matter and go someplace else would be then. And that's the entire point of the matter, dude. These people need to start calling the shit out for what it is, dude, for real. So, anyway. Yeah, actually, this one girl mentioned about the massage thing where she said this girl knew about the slave trade where all these people earn is the actual tip then. And that could be as well. And I've talked about that before, actually, if I'm not mistaken, when it comes to a lot of these, like, because they're almost like sweatshop massage parlor places and stuff like that, where it is legitimately like some chick from, Cambodia or Vietnam or Colombia or whatever it is there, or any nation like that is what it would be then. And they're trafficked over to this country on a boat or, in a truck or whatever it is there. And then they're basically taking these massage parlors and used as like, the chick who doesn't really speak English, what it is there, and that's the reason why. And the reason why they don't have them learn English, obviously, is because they don't want them actually being able to. They want to keep them, defense. They want to keep them from being able to have contacts, having to rely on these people. Is what it is there. That's what it is. And what better way to do that than actually have them only be able to speak their foreign language is what it is then. And it's kind of sad actually in that way, but. Yeah, and that's the problem too as well. Is that we're not combating human trafficking in this country the way we need to is what it is, dude. So, but it seems like states like Ohio here actually are trying to do something here is what it is now with different bills going through our state legislature this year is what it is to give victims the actual power to, pursue charges against their captors, abductors, whatever you call them there is what it is there. People who are keeping them under thumb is what it is there for the pimps and shit like that is what it is then. So, anyway, actually, that's something I heard about the other day too. I guess the dude who actually owns OnlyFans, like anybody that does adult content on there, owes him like some money is what it is, and it's like they used to be called a pimp, bro. Like what the fuck? So yeah, pretty fucking weird, man. Entirely. I know there's also alternative sites to that site, like Fansly and stuff like that. Is what it is now, and they're pretty much all the same. That's what it is, dude. It's all like basically just like bunch of chicks spreading their snatch and asshole and stuff like that, and then. You had that one great exchange between that black dude that was on whatever podcast that time and that fucking OnlyFans bitch that was so fucking dumb it's not even funny. And he was talking about her having like no talent and everything else like that. And she's like, oh, I guess I'm just worthless or whatever. Then he's like, no, you are worth something. You show your tits and your fucking asshole and make money is what it is there. But if you were a dude, you would be in poverty is what it is. And he's right about that one, honestly, dude, because she has no fucking brains, is what it is. She has some big ass fake tits and her fucking just for her butthole real nice is what it is there. And make, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 100,000 a year, whatever it is there. Just fucking doing like nude sex shows every couple of days or whatever it is then. Which is fucking ridiculous, dude, entirely. Yeah, meanwhile, people like me are barely struggling to make ends meet is what it is, or can't even qualify for disability off the bat when we're literally struggling for fucking even barely walk around is what it is anymore. So, yeah, it just pisses me off, man. It really does. Or even like Corey. Corey's been in Texas there fighting for his body for years now, and it's fucking... Dude has a fucking brain tumor. They won't ever do it for that, dude. When people won't hire the man because his fucking brain tumor is what it is. So... just fucking disgusting is what it is, dude. So anyway. I don't know anymore, man. Like I said, I'm just fucking over it is what it is, dude. Not to mention the fucking illegals coming into our country right now and getting hand fucking, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 gift cards here and there is what it is. And then monthly checks and shit like that. Well, meanwhile, people like me aren't getting jack shit when we should be as American citizens right now. Hell, dude, I'm the son of a Korean War vet, for God's sakes, dude. If anybody should be told anything, it should be my ass right now. My father literally fucked over this country for over 10 years of his fucking life. In both during the Korean War and after it. Got multiple medals for great service is what it was. For being an excellent person in the military. And being a stand-up dude is what it was. And you're going to turn around and fucking turn your back on his son, or turn your back, even that for the same way of things, turn your back on every fucking veteran in this country that went over and fought in your fucked up forever wars, and half of them lost fucking legs and arms and shit in those places, dude. Got fucking a leg or an arm or fucking half their body blown up by an IED or fucking burned up from an IED and shit like that, dude. Fucking pisses me off, dude. You're going to let these guys fucking rot on the streets while you let these fucking illegals come into our country. They're all fighting age males, taking over fucking hotels and turning them into fucking literal shitholes is what it is, dude. Where they're shitting in the fucking hallways and in the fucking every place in the damn room except for the fucking bathroom is what it is there. Fucking disgusting is what it is, dude. I honestly really can't wait for civil war in this country, dude. Because maybe then I can take my fucking aggression for once and for all is what it is then. I think every other American's feeling the same way for this matter right now, dude. In many cases, like, we're just fucking out over this whole thing, dude. We have to fucking hear is what it is right now. So, deal with the fucking problem ourselves right now is what it'd be then. So, anyway. But, yeah, that being said, though, that's where we're at for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll see y'all in the next one, which will probably be, I don't know, probably Monday or Tuesday. If nothing else, I'll do a Grandstand or something then. Or maybe I'll do, I may still do something else, like either tonight or tomorrow morning or something like that, where it would be on the Lily channel for the Walking Dead Survivors games would be then. But yeah, other than that, though, that's pretty much it for the day for here right now. But yeah, have a good one, y'all. Stay safe, stay strong. Stay vigilant. Make sure you're always carrying, and make sure you're always carrying one in the chamber, because you never know if something's going to pop off wherever you are. And you might have to be the person that stops the fucking massacre in his tracks is what it is then. So, anyway. Later, everybody. See ya.